Hi, I'm Crystal, and today I want to talk about an ink blending hack for Distress Oxide inks. I love this dreamy blended look that you can achieve with Distress Oxide inks. I love that water spot effect you can achieve, but I really do not have the time and patience for blending foams. So I'm going to start with some mixed media paper. Mixed media and watercolor paper are sized on the outside, and they also have some ingredients on the inside that make them work well with water. And I am going to work on a silicone placemat because it's going to be a little bit messy, and this is easy to take to the sink. So I'm going to start with a little bit of crayon resist. So I'm getting out a white crayon. If you like Crayola crayons, the best price I've seen for these is at Dollar Tree, $1.25 for 24 crayons. So I'm drawing a couple of hearts on my mixed media paper. Then I'm getting out my Distress ink pads to smush on my placemat. So this technique is going to work with any water-reactive ink, but I love the look of the Distress Oxide, so that's what we are using today. So I'm going to dampen the paper a little bit, and I'm going to dampen the ink. So the conventional wisdom for ink blending is to keep a set of blending foams, one for each color of ink, and to get the blending foam saturated with ink, and to use those to blend. I just do not have the temperament for that. I don't want to keep track of blending foams for every conceivable color of ink. I don't want to take the time to blend with a blending foam. So I am converting these difficult to blend inks into easy to blend watercolor paint. And you can see that since we are letting the water do the work, that the ink just blends like a dream. It's very easy to get those colors to mix together because the water is doing the heavy lifting. So after we take a look at this version, which is orange, yellow, and pink, let's do another version with some purple colors. Now this would work, of course, with any water-reactive ink. It doesn't have to be Distress Oxides. I just like the look of these, and I like the water drop effects you can get with these oxides. So I'm going to do a few more stripes using the purple colors than I did with the sunrise colors. You can see my crayon resist hearts emerging. I did not do a perfect job of coloring with the white crayon on white paper. It's a little hard to see sometimes, but I do have a little fix for that at the end. But again, letting the water do the work, we're getting a beautiful blend between these different colors. It's just so easy to achieve, and I don't have the storage or the cost of a bunch of different blending foams. I can wash this paintbrush out quite easily and just go on and use it for other things. So I think this is really the best method I've tried for blending inks. There's really not the labor-intensive approach of blending foams or brushes, and it's easy to clean everything. So I touched up the crayon misses with a little bit of white metallic watercolor. Of course, the crayon resists that as well, but any place I missed with a crayon picks up the metallic watercolor, and I think it gives a nice effect. Now, if you do like a heavier ink application, and sometimes I do if I want to do the water drop effects, the easy way to do that is to use the re-inkers. So the re-inkers are a more concentrated version of the Distress Oxide ink, of course. And we can apply that just as easily as we could the smooshed ink pad. So here I'm just using that direct re-inker like it's paint, and I am going to thin it out with a little bit of water for the blending part of this. But first I'm getting down a good amount of ink, and then I'm going to blend it together. So I chose 3 different blue colors, or blue-green colors, for this blend. I like these colors together, and once I get them down on the paper, again, we are going to let the water do the heavy lifting for the blending portion of this. So doing this with blending foams perhaps gives you a slightly better outcome, but you know me, I don't have the patience for that. So I want to let the water do the work, and I don't want to store that stuff. So if you have a preferred method for blending Distress Oxide inks, I would love to hear about it in the comments. Let me know. If you think I'm missing the boat with this approach to blending ink, I don't know, maybe you're not as comfortable with paintbrushes and have a distinct preference for something else. I'd love to hear about it. But once this is dry, we can go on to do the water droplet effect. And because this is water-reactive ink, of course, any place that water touches the Distress Oxide, if you pick that water up with a paper towel or a Kleenex or something like that, then you can pick up the ink color as well, and that's what gives us that look. So I do like that look, and I just now have a background that will be perfect for a focal point. So I thought this was a good hack. I hope you agree, and I thank you for joining me today.